Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Are we live? Yeah. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Nice. Alright, so hello everyone. Hello if anybody joins. And yeah, today I'm just gonna go through some of these studies for my exam that we have tomorrow. And yeah, just gonna be making some notes. Yeah, and if you wanna tag along and do it at the same time as me, then feel free. Or you can just leave and watch it back whenever you want. So yeah, let's do this. Let's get the trusty pencil out. Let's do this. Right. So we've got the first one here. So hello everyone. So we've got the first one here. We've got dietary inflammatory potential risk. Inflammatory potential risk. So when was this done? Oh, 2020. Let's go. Okay, so what did they do here? So examine pro-inflammatory diets associated with cardiovascular disease. Okay, so pro-inflammatory, so stuff like omega-6, I believe, and they can be pro-inflammatory due to the icosanoids. So what did they do? Whoever diet was assessed by food frequency. Yeah. So they just checked people's diets to see if they had any inflammatory effects. Okay. Blah blah blah. Okay. Let's make this a bit bigger, shall we? There we go. So this is Notion, by the way, if you're wondering what app I'm using. Yeah, it's quite good. It's very good, actually. Got something in my mouth. Alright, so yeah, let's have a read, see what we can pick up. Accumulation evidence. Inflammatory biomarkers such as IL-6, CRP, tumor necrosis factor. Let me just put my phone in charge. Have been associated with, so an increase in these is associated with cardiovascular disease. So randomized trials, blah blah blah, some point of modified exposure that has been, so diet takes a big part, obviously. Intakes of food that are rich in antioxidants, fiber, long chain, omega-3, polyunsaturated fatty no, sorry, N3 polyunsaturated fatty acids have been associated with low levels of protein. So diets. Oh, let's get the light on. Diets high in fiber, antioxidants, long chain fatty acids, have been associated with coronary more important effects on religious habits. 3 healthy, including Mediterranean diet, have been associated. Yeah, so the Mediterranean diets are basically just low in meat, high in fish, and veg and stuff like that. It's basically pescatarian diet. So the saying remains unclear whether long-term adherence to these pro-inflammatory diets is associated. So presuming that's what they're testing here. Food-based index. Okay, so they concentrated on these 3 biomarkers, so IL-6, CRP, and tumor necrosis factor, I believe. Okay, so what did they do? So they got this NES health study in 1976, dude. Participants were followed by a biennial lifestyle medical history, blah blah blah. So I think they just followed a diet to see if consumption one thing led to something else. And so they every 4 years. So NAS health study every 4 years. Yeah, so every 4 years. Was previously developed in blah blah blah. Briefly, plasma levels of IL-6, tumor necrosis factor, and C-reactive protein were regressed. Okay. Oh, nice image. Yeah, so you can see here. So these pro-inflammatories, obviously, all the bad stuff, and high anti-inflammatory wine. Interestingly. So if we take a note of that, so pro-inflammatory. So we've got red meat, processed organ meat, refined carbs. So if you watch my video on that, you'll know what that means. Sweetened beverages and others. So then we've got so what do we have got there? Green veg, whole grain, obviously. That's why you gotta eat your oats, fruits, tea, coffee, wine. Okay. Okay, what's this in dietary influence? So potential hazard ratio of CVD. So it's basically saying the more you consume of this dietary inflammatories, the higher your risks of CVD, basically. So here's the baseline. Yeah, smoking, hypercholesteremia, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's all good. So regression selecting foods are predicted of fuck, what did it finish with? Blah blah blah. Stepwise linear. So yeah, so if you check the video coming out on regression, then you'll know how they perform these tests. Wait, highest score indicates pro-inflammatory. Okay. Calculate. Blah blah blah. Whatever. CVD is defined as the composite incident non-fatal myocardial infarction. And myocardial infarction is obviously a heart attack. Okay, blah blah. Assessment of biomarkers was collected. Okay, covariates. Statistical analysis. Character person used to follow to return date for them until death. So they follow them until the first CVD diagnosis or death, and whichever came first. Cox. Don't know what Cox regressions are. Smoking, physical activity, multivitamin use, regular aspirin use. Okay, blah blah blah. So I think that they're just saying that they adjusted for all the stuff that people may have been taking, such as the aspirin and that. Okay, and here they're just saying that they excluded people with diabetes, hypertension, blah blah, because they have obviously an effect on CVD. Cool. Finally, to examine the other value of EDP, otherwise we additionally adjust. So they adjusted for that, blah blah blah. Linear regression standards association of EDP with inflammatory mind. Yeah, so they use that linear regression, which I'm having a video released soon on. So what that basically means is they put it into Jamovi or whatever for linear regression, and they put in their EDPI scores and the levels of inflammatory biomarkers, and then you can see how your EDP score rises the more pro-inflammatory markers you have. So they probably saw a linear fashion there, but let's look at the results. It's quite a big study. 200,000. That's pretty good. So already, those who consumed a pro-inflammatory reported higher. So this is at baseline even. They haven't even looked at the study, but those that consumed pro-inflammatory diets had higher BMI, lower physical activity, and more likely history of CVD in fam. Of course, Ben. Welcome, Ben, to the stream. I'm basically doing this to make myself read these studies again, because they can be quite dull, but I feel like if you do it for people, then it becomes a bit better. So yeah, they adjusted for those things, and there's the results. Okay, and by heterogeneity of sex, slightly attempted further just blah 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 blah. Free code fully adjusted, blah blah blah. Maths. No one knows what that means. Insensitivity and sensitivity between robustment further adjusted for alcohol. They basically adjusted for everything in this study. And further adjustment of the analogy. Okay, that's interesting. So they saw, obviously this EDPI score, and they said that the higher your score, the more pro-inflammatory diet you have. So the EDPI, and there was association between, so there was more CVD and heart disease risk among those people who never smoked or were past smokers than current smokers. Interesting. Right. No, sorry. They're saying that the risk of CVD and CHD among smokers were higher than past smokers, which is due to the obviously bad effects of smoking. Assumption of DPI with plasma. So they're verified. So here we've got where is it? We verified positive association between EDIP and levels. Where is it? Levels of systemic.
Sorry, I didn't find a device named Lounge.
You what? Shut up, Alex. Inflammatory biomarkers. So positive association between EDP and levels of systemic markers in strong positive association between. Yeah, so again, the higher the score, the more of these markers you have in you. Fuck knows what this is. Nope. So one is obviously no effect. Hazard ratio with a 1 increasing stratified by BMI of more than. Okay. So they're basically saying like even though so all of these factors basically increases your incidence of having either of these. I'm assuming these are the p-values or not. Yeah, fuck knows what those are. So like here, like obviously if you're so above 25 is overweight, I believe. So obviously if you're overweight, obese or severely obese, then obviously your risk of all of these will go up. Again, and same with alcohol consumption. Not really sure if these are needed because they don't really tell us anything. Like family history of CHD, no. Increases, yes. Increases, so it's a bit pointless, but whatever. But the biggest risk factor they say here is BMI. Moreover, a higher EDPI score, so just here, was associated with increased plasma triglycerides levels, a reduction in HDLs, so that's your good lipoproteins that basically take cholesterol and fats from cells to reduce the risk of atherosclerosis. And the modest, okay, so they reduce cholesterol, but at the price of reducing HDL cholesterol as well. So, I'm not sure if that's worth it for me. Come on. Okay. Discussion. Usually an empirically developed food, blah blah blah. The higher inflammatory potential of habitual dietary patterns associated with. Yes, okay, so higher inflammatory diets associated with CVD, CHD, and stroke compared with individuals consuming anti-inflammatory those consuming pro-inflammatory had the so pro versus anti had 38% higher risk of CVD, CHD, and stroke. And that's after just says CBD here, not the others. Consumption of Progen that was also associated with higher levels of stem vascular. Yeah. So also, yeah, they had higher levels of that. Diet plays an important role in the CBD and underlying mechanisms are suggested a partially involved modulation of inflammation. Our studies among the first to link a food-based dietary inflammatory index with CVD incidence. Results from these studies summarize the meta-analysis but in general suggest a positive association with blah blah blah. Is that range? Diet food based in okay, whatever. Standard deviation difference. No idea. Predictive inflammatory biomarkers evidence that these exhibit a stronger prediction ability compared with those of DIB should that robust risk. So they're basically saying that their way of measuring the risk of CVD by this EDIP score shows a more robust association. So yeah, again, consistent with prior evidence. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so again, just be vegan and then you'll be happy. It's basically what it's saying. Just increasing your intake of food and veg and stuff like that will help you decrease these pro-inflammatory markers. Yeah, so smoking, yeah. Smoking's at a high absolute CBD risk. Suggesting that diets. Yeah, so again, inflammation plays a key role in multiple sclerosis and thrombosis. Oh, let's put a lower laptop in charge. Processed refined grain sugar barriers modulated. Okay, sorry. So EDIP was supposedly associated with C-reactive protein IL-6, tumor necrosis factor, and some. You literally just said that. Like, why do these studies just repeat themselves? Okay, so these also activate these things, and these activate vascular inflammation, higher leptin and lower. Okay. Alexa, play Chopin.
Playing songs by Frederick Chopin from Spotify.
Alexa, volume up. Supplements or measurement. Errors in absolute nutrients can be repeatedly collected diet every 4 years and lifestyles every 2 years. This allows us to evaluate between person variation, long-term diets, capture when person, blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, so they're basically just repeating themselves. Cannot conclude. Yeah, okay. Again, so correlation doesn't always mean causation. You need to just think about that. So just because they saw an increase in the risk of CVD when this diet was, when these pro-inflammatory markers were put in place, that doesn't necessarily mean that's what caused them. There could be some middle ground factor that we aren't aware of. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for that paper. Let's just type this out again. So I've got that. Let's just make this a bit more nice, shall we? Okay, so they had men and from the National Nurse Health Survey. So diets high in fiber, antioxidants, oxidants, fatty acids. So that's your unsaturated cis. Who the fuck is that? Shall we? How do I do that? Let's go here. Oh. Come on. Come on, load. We'll have a little break. We'll play some chess in between. Let's put it on the Insta. Cool. Let's go on chess.com. Let's hope I can log in here. Because I'm logged in with my Apple ID. Oh, there you go. Oh, fuck knows what my password is though. Profile. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes, please. Nice. Nice. Yeah, we're not very good at the moment, but we'll get there. No, I don't. That's me. Hello. Right, let's wreck this noob. Can we play it? Oh, we're connecting. Nice. We're playing Laktionovo 6 from the Ukraine. He's starting. Okay. What are we gonna do? We're gonna take control of the center. Or are we gonna? Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, d5. Yeah, sure, bro. I don't think my laptop can manage this, but let's see. We crashed. Sup, dude. Okay, so he's playing the gambit. Okay. Let's just defend. We crashed. No, I think it's. I don't know, time is going. Is that a free pawn? I think that's a free pawn. Okay, attacks that. And let's let us. Let's just do this. What's going on with this here? Still alive. Let's play the Firing Dragons. High lag. I don't know what you're talking about. I am living in Ukraine. Here is bad, not so much like you. He takes. Okay. And she's got my rook. Okay. Well, I'm gonna take. See if he goes through. Let's play this.